Welcome everyone to Cobra Kai Studio for another fan questions video. A video that's just us talking about some questions that we might all share, might not, whatever be the case. But either way, this is our video to just hang out and talk some Cobra Kai or whatever you want to. If you want to talk about different things, lately in the premieres, we've been kind of just talking about all kinds of movies and all kinds of stuff. Whatever you want to talk about in the chat, I really don't care, But if you want to answer some of these questions, you want to ask some of the questions yourself, then feel free to. These are our videos to have a fun time on and debate our theories, ideas, questions. If I get something wrong, don't hesitate to let me know. Because sometimes there's going to be things where I get them wrong. Because when I shoot these videos, I'm just sitting in a room with no way to look these up while I'm talking to the phone, because I do these as voiceover. So until I get a better setup, these are just pretty much all from me answering the questions as I read them. And just kind of speculating my own ideas on them. Which is why I more than welcome y'all all to share your ideas, your own opinions, your own answers to these questions. That way, it's not just me doing it, because these videos are all of ours as a community to enjoy. So why not us all just participate? You know what I mean? That's what they're about. So we'll start off with the first question, which I can't really answer, Aaron, but I'll provide my idea of what I think maybe could have happened. Now, if any of y'all want to try to answer this or might have an answer in some way, then feel free to let us know. What if Kim Sun-young and Mr. Miyagi trained together, as in like in the past? As I guess you'd say when they were younger or whatever be the case. Now, there's not a whole lot that you can find out about Kim Sun-young except for the fact that he trained Kreese, and that's kind of about it, really. So, I'm sure there's more to it, but if you have any ideas on that and you want to speculate or, leave your own idea to that comment, feel free to. On to the next one from Scott. If there is an end of the season battle, do you want to see it like at the All Valley Karate Tournament or some other setting? If we get Johnny Daniel Alliance to actually take down Kreese, I would love to see a battle in a warehouse or factory setting with everyone, including the OG members, battling. And to raise the stakes, the building catches on fire, and we don't know who survives going into season 4. Damn, that'd be a hell of a end of a season. Not gonna lie, Scott, that would leave a hell of a cliffhanger for us to wonder what all happened in the fire. That's kind of interesting. Now, me personally, I don't want to see the end of season battle at an All Valley tournament. At least not yet. I feel like, they've already done that for season 1. I feel like they should do something new each season. So I don't think that should be like the end of the season, thing. I would actually rather see it in some kind of different setting like that as well. I'd speculate if it was going to be in a setting like that, that would probably see it in Cobra Kai's actually dojo, though, maybe, you know what I mean? Especially if it's Johnny and Daniel teaming up to take down Kreese, I imagine that it would actually take place in the dojo. And something similar could happen. What if it catches fire again? It kind of did with Kreese's cigar whenever it gets kicked into the, the trash can. But then again, he does have a fire system, so maybe not. But, it would be interesting to see some kind of crazy cliffhanger like that to kind of leave us on till season 4. I'm actually hoping that they do, because I love the suspense of not knowing what to expect from the next season and kind of just keeping everybody drawn in, and gives us a lot of things to talk about and debate about and make theories about, kind of speculate what we might actually see moving forward. So it's really a lot of fun to kind of just put our brains to work and think of ideas of what these creators might actually have in store for us. And I don't know, I just enjoy it. I think it's a lot of fun. On to the next question from PG. I just had a crazy theory going through my mind. I did the math, and also because when Kreese said it was Nicole's, Stingray turned right, but the writers confirmed that it is Tori. So what if Stingray is her brother? They joined the same day and are both a little crazy. It could very well be. What do you think? I don't know. I've often wondered who her other relatives might be, whether it be sister, brother, whatever the case is. So I've kind of always wondered who they might actually be. But I don't know if I feel like Stingray is too old to be her brother. But then again, I guess it could play out that way because I'm 9 years older than my sister. So, I guess it could happen. It's happened in my family, obviously. So it kind of makes you wonder, but I don't know. I like the theory. It's an interesting idea, PJ, for sure. If any of y'all want to, chime in on this and kind of provide what you might think, feel free to. I'm kind of curious to see what you have to say about it, because I could maybe see it. You're not lying about the whole when he calls out Nichols. There's a few things that make you think, like, why did he look, though? It is kind of interesting. I did see what you're talking about, so I'm kind of curious of that too. It is interesting. On to the next one from Aaron. Do you think that Miguel will ask why he didn't answer ask Johnny why he didn't answer his phone when he called him? I don't know. Honestly, I feel like Miguel might not even remember to think about something like that, honestly, considering the type of severe injury he, obviously sustained. So my personal opinion is I don't think he will, Aaron. Now, I feel like that might just be something that happened in season 2 and we won't see no more of. But then again, these writers don't throw things in like that they don't want to later touch base on, because if that was the case, then why even show that clip of him missing the call? You know what I mean? Like, it wouldn't even make sense. Yeah, it does, for the point that Johnny could hear his voice and, well, maybe that is what it is. Maybe that was what it was for. It's just so that way Johnny could kind of hear his voice and kind of recollect on what actually happened, maybe kind of that kind of thing in a sense. But I don't know. Let me know what you think. On to another question from Aaron. There was a rumor going around that Daniel's mom was dating Terry Silver. Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't see that being the case, honestly. I don't know. What do you think about that, guys? I don't know if I would see his mom dating Terry Silver, but then again, we don't really know enough about what his mom's been doing either behind the scenes, so I guess you can't rule it out. In my opinion, though, I would say no. I wouldn't see that being a thing. But then again, I don't know. I guess you can't say for sure no. What do you think? Do you feel like Terry Silver's, I always add that extra S, and I don't know why. Terry Silver and Daniel's mom were a thing, or are a thing, behind the scenes that we just don't know about yet? What if Tori tells Miguel he has to choose between her and Sam? Now, in my opinion, Tori seems like the feisty type of girl to do something like that, honestly. I could see her being like that and be like, hey, you need to choose between me or her, like, straight up. I just don't know if that's how it's going to play out, though. I mean, maybe. I could see Sam being weird like that, too, though. So, I don't know. What do you think? Do you feel like Sam might give, Tori might give Miguel an ultimatum and make him have to choose? I don't know. I don't know if I could say that would be the thing that we'd see, to be honest. On to the next one. Do you think that there will be a backstory of Daniel's mom? I'm kind of hoping so, especially because it might answer some of that question, like similar to the one you just asked about her dating Terry Silver. I don't know, though. I know that for sure we should be getting a Tori backstory and a Sam backstory from what the cast answered when they answered people's questions for that video, and I actually have a video where I talked about that too. So I know we're getting like their kind of a backstory, but I don't know that we will for Daniel's mom. Maybe not. Maybe if she does actually is one of the ones that passes away, then maybe that would be like the episode that kind of touches base on her and focuses on her. But I don't know. On to the next comment from Mad Mike Comics. I can't believe that Kreese would have never mentioned his top student, Johnny, to Silver. Johnny might not know who Silver is, but Silver has to at least have heard of Johnny. I agree. I 100% agree there, especially if Johnny was like his star pupil, like I feel like that would be something he'd at least brought up to Terry in some conversation along the lines. So I agree. Even if Johnny really doesn't know who Terry Silver is, which I don't know that Johnny really don't know who Terry Silver is, just because he said he doesn't mean that he really don't. He might have just been saying that to, kind of get them on good graces with the committee so he could have Cobra Kai, compete in the All Valley Karate Tournament. So I wouldn't even say for sure that he really don't know who Silver is, but at the same time, Silver really has to know who the hell Johnny is. That's just like hands down. There's no way he doesn't know who the hell Johnny is. I mean, it would just make sense. On to the next comment from Scott. I think Daniel should thank Miguel for returning the Medal of Honor. I find it odd we are going into the 3rd season and Daniel and Miguel have yet to have a you know what? That's really true, right? Like, they never even talked, yet alone looked at each other for that matter very much. So that's a very good point. That's why I was like confused at why Daniel would be crying over Miguel, because like they really don't know each other. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I guess there is ways that it could have played out that way, because he, obviously Daniel might have some kind of sorrow for what happened because Robbie did it. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know. And I would like to see them kind of have a conversation. I feel like they would actually get along, even though they're, Cobra Kai, Miyagi-Do situation. But I feel like they might actually get along in some way. And that's where people speculate that Miguel might actually join Miyagi-Do. I know some of y'all don't want to even hear that, but I've heard a lot of people debating it, and I kind of wouldn't mind it myself. But I don't think he would unless it answers another question that people have had on previous videos of, will Johnny team up with Daniel to help in Miyagi-Do? What do you think on that one? On to the next one. What if Tori is at a nightclub in the trailer looking for someone? I 100% think that, Young Gun. I feel like the way she, like her expressions at the very last second before it cuts off is as if she sees this person that she was looking for. So I 100% believe that she was going to this nightclub to look for someone. And the type of like attitude and vibes that she gives off when entering the scene is just that kind of vibe. That's the vibe I get from it, is that she's going to look for someone. So it makes me think, who? Some people speculate maybe her mom works at this club. Maybe Terry Silver owns this club and she is in some way connected to Terry Silver. I don't know, though. Maybe it's just some random club she knows that her friends that she knows hangs out. I don't know. There's a lot that we could speculate on that. And I'm really excited that we're getting closer day by day to January 8th. I wish it was just like next week, though. But don't we all? On to the next one. Why did Johnny not call the police on Daniel for breaking and entering at the apartment? Honestly, I think he was just more like understanding as like a father. Obviously, Daniel didn't know where his daughter was at. He found out that she was indeed there and just kind of overreacted, you know. Some parents really, really can't hold back sometimes, and I think that's just the situation. I think Johnny kind of understood that, because I think Johnny would have been the same way if it was, you know, flipped the script there and he had a daughter and he was at Daniel's house, you know, or even Robbie maybe too. I mean, he you know, I think it was just a natural instinct for him. So I think that's an interesting question though, regardless. On to the next comment from Christopher. It's not explained why Johnny would think Kreese is dead. I think that Daniel would not mention dark things like the death match unless he needs to. He did this in Season 2 when he mentioned he was a Cobra Kai student in The Karate Kid 3. The actress who played Kumiko has not filmed any scenes for Cobra Kai 3. So there's no way she's in this season. Only on bad terms because of Hawk for... Oh, I see it. You're answering the questions that were like in the video. Nice, awesome. Only on bad terms because Hawk for a little while and then be friends again when Hawk becomes Eli once again. Okay, I see what you're talking about. You're talking about with, like, the Miguel and Hawk thing. Yeah, I could see them maybe only being on bad terms, like, for, like, a little bit. I don't think that I don't even know if they'll ever be on bad terms, you know what I mean? Unless, like, Hawk really goes down a bad path. Chris and Silver never had a fallout. Kreese already mentioned to Johnny in Season 2 that a war buddy, Terry Silver, wanted to help him, but he decided not to accept the help. You're right, he does. He does talk about that. It just ain't mentioned that it's Silver, but, I mean, who else would it be? Kreese's pride and anger got the best of him. Defeat he didn't accept and showed no mercy to Johnny. Yep, hands down, he really did. He wasn't one to accept defeat either, and you could just tell. It's just that was him, you know. But thanks for leaving a comment, and I appreciate when y'all all decide to answer the questions as well. It makes it a lot more fun and interactive, because it's us as a community coming together to just answer everybody's questions together, debate what answers we come up with, and wait and see what actually happens, you know. When did Daniel learn how to fight with weapons? Because he has weapons in his dojo and is using a bow staff in Season 2. That's a nice question, young gun. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. He does use it, and at the what was it? What would you call it? Like the demonstration thing that he was gonna do, where Cobra Kai like crashed it. Basically, there was a little bit of weapon play there. I don't know. I wondered that too, because you don't ever see him really train with much weapons. You just see certain clips where he already kind of knows how to do it. But I imagine that's just kind of like anybody, just an untold story there. Me personally, that was not something I was interested in when I first started martial arts, was doing weapons. So for a long time, I didn't even, you know, pick up weapons either. I mean, yeah, it was required in some like classes and training, but beyond that point, I never like practiced too much at home. As I got older, it just randomly became something I wanted to progress in. I started learning plenty of the martial art moves, all the forms. And you can, it's not a bad thing to constantly do the forms, because you keep a perfect rhythm and flow of the motions of the forms, and you keep them in your head and all, and you kind of just get a deeper understanding of them as you go, the more you do them. So it's not a bad thing to keep doing those, but I wanted to add more to it. I wanted to add more to my learning experience. So then I picked up commas. I started training with those for quite a bit, got pretty good at those, and then I moved to a bow staff. So then now I'm incorporating, commas and bow staff into my routine of training, which now today is even more, because I practice size, commas, nunchucks, bow staff, combo, the wood sword, and actual sword. So I practice quite a bit of different things now. So it just kind of, I guess it just depends. For me, that's how it worked for me. I wasn't interested in it right away, and then eventually I just wanted to learn. So I started learning about them. Started learning, having my master teach me more and train me more. And that's when I got involved in extreme martial arts, which is basically all advanced black belt trainings, moves, forms, styles, and a lot of that included weapons. So on to the next question. What if Tori gets choked by John Kreese and Sam saves Tori from him like Mr. Miyagi saved Johnny in Karate Kid? I'm gonna be honest, Aaron, I don't see that happening. No, not that I don't see Kreese choking Tori, but I don't see Sam putting her pride aside to help Tori. Maybe she would, maybe she wouldn't. I don't know. I feel like that'd be something Daniel would do to step in, honestly, versus Sam. Just my opinion, though. Do you think that Sam should have talked to Miguel when he come out of the dojo in Cobra Kai Season 2? I guess it would have kind of played out the same either way, though, Aaron, honestly. I just feel like it wouldn't have been necessary regardless if she would have or not. Now, not to say that it wouldn't have, and it might have changed some things, but I feel like the way things ended when everything happened, it still probably would have played out similar. But I'll have the question regardless, Aaron. And on to the next one. How did Terry Silver know that Daniel done the crane kick in the Karate Kid Part 1? I love Quiet Lightning's answer. VHS tape. What the hell's a VHS tape? No, I'm just kidding. I still know what one is. Alan Smith answered, Kreese probably told him. Yeah, I don't know. I imagine that, yeah, any of the above could have been the way. I mean, he might even have been there for all we know in the background, just didn't know that he was behind the scenes. We don't know how sneaky Silver really is and what all he might have done. So let's just speculate for a minute that maybe he was in the background and watched it happen live. Maybe he didn't. Maybe a news broadcaster broadcast it and he's seen it on the news, even though it was back in the 80s. There were still damn news shows and news broadcasts and things like that. So I don't know. I guess any of the above is possible. On to the next one from Young Gun. If Silver and Mike come back, would Johnny fight Mike? I don't think he would try to start a fight, but I don't know. I guess it depends on how they get along or not. If he comes back and he's on Kreese's side, probably so. I could see Johnny and Mike having a little scene of fighting, which would actually be interesting. I think Johnny would actually still beat Mike, but I don't know. I guess it depends on how much Mike's really trained behind the scenes. On to the next one. How could Johnny get Cobra Kai back without killing Kreese? Because the show is called Cobra Kai. He must get it back somehow. You're right, and I know that the whole Cobra Kai thing is, that's the whole center of the damn show. So it's like, you would assume that in some way Johnny's going to get Cobra Kai back. But the question is how. And some people do think that Kreese is going to die. And maybe he will. They might actually kill Kreese off. I mean, he's an interesting character for the show. I feel like he is an important character for the show. But at the same time, I'm sure that they could go on without him and still create a hell of interesting content. So I could take it or leave it, basically. Say. On to the next question from Jeff Bayless. What are the titles of more episodes going to be released? With the second one listed as Little Miss Perfect is when we should see Sam's backstory of her being a nerd through middle school. I keep checking that too because I'm curious, Jeff, to what the hell they're going to call the other episodes. And I had to have the same theory about that Little Miss Perfect episode. I felt like that was going to be Sam's backstory episode too. It just seems like that's the perfect fitting title for Sam's backstory. So I'm curious to that too. And I'm curious to what all the backstory is going to actually entail. What all is actually going to be played out into the said backstory. You know what I mean? So it's kind of interesting. I guess we could expect quite a bit of things. But that's just my theories and ideas on that. On to the next question from Lisa Barrett. I would like Daniel and Johnny to get along in 3 series. I wouldn't mind it. I mean, I love their rivalry. Let's be honest. I enjoy the hell out of it. But I'm pretty sure it's inevitable that we're going to end up seeing them join forces. At least if it's this for a few episodes. Maybe it's most of season 3. I don't know. I just feel like no matter what, we're going to eventually see this happen. And whether we want to see it happen or not, it's up to us. But I feel like it's going to happen in some way, I don't know. That's just my opinion, though. I just think it's going to happen no matter what. On to the next one from Young Gun. John said Miguel would go back to Cobra Kai. Does that mean Johnny gets it back or Miguel goes with Kreese? I was curious of that, too. Maybe he still wants to be a Cobra Kai regardless and wants to be there with his friends, and maybe he doesn't team up with Johnny. Maybe, my ideas on what might actually happen with Miguel when he gets out is not exactly what's going to happen. Maybe he will end up still being a Cobra Kai and just trained by Kreese. But maybe he'll be like the inside man for Johnny. Who knows? I just feel like they shouldn't ruin the Johnny and Miguel relationship. But maybe they have something else for us in store that we just don't exactly expect right this moment. So, I don't know. What do you think, though? Let me know how you feel about it. We're on to the next one from Aaron. What if Miguel tells Tori he's still in love with Sam? Tori's going to punch him right in the face. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. That's an interesting one. I can see it happening because, obviously, there's some kind of feeling between Miguel and Sam still. Obviously, they both technically kissed each other. So, it's like, it's just basically a love triangle there that's going on that... I don't know, maybe Tori don't even care. What if Tori don't give a shit? What if she's like, boom, who cares? I'm just going to move on. I don't know if that'd be the case. I feel like her and Miguel were kind of close. So I don't know if we'd see that actually happen. Maybe, but I don't think so. Just my opinion, I don't know. Do you think that Miguel will tell Tori that he's still in love with Sam? Do you think that Miguel is actually still in love with Sam? Or do you think there's just some still leftover feelings from when they were together? What do you think? On to the next one from Young Gun. How will Mike come into the series? People think with Silver but I doubt he would be in the contact with Silver all those years. Oh, so you're saying, like, how do you think he's going to join the, whatever season he might come back? And if that's the case, is it going to be related to Silver, or is it just because some other situation? I can understand your point. Like, I don't know if Silver would stay in contact with him all these years, but then again, I don't know why he wouldn't either. It's kind of like the best of both worlds there, and best of least both worlds, however you want to word it. I mean, I don't know. I could see that they could find reasons for him to stay in contact, and I could see maybe they were like business partners or some way or something. I don't know. What do you think, though? How do you think that could actually come into play? On to the next one. What if Daniel buys the strip mall so Johnny could get Cobra Kai back, or they create their own dojo like Miyagi Kai or something? I could see if for some reason, okay, let's say that Johnny's stepdad doesn't die and he don't get no money. That's another theory, though, is what if Johnny's stepdad dies and he was to buy the strip mall? Kicks Cobra Kai out or kicks over. There's a couple things. But let's just say that Daniel does buy the strip mall. I don't think that would still give him any reason to take over Cobra Kai, but he could in sense kick Cobra Kai out of there, leaving them where they have to start a new dojo. But that could be where Terry Silver could step in and have the money to start the other dojo for Kreese. So it's like, you do one thing and it's still going to happen regardless, just in a different way. Now, I don't know that Daniel and Johnny will team up to create their own dojo. I mean, I've seen quite a bit of people state something similar to that, so it's like, very interesting. But I don't know. It's hard for me to comprehend that one, to really explain it, because I guess it could go either way. But I just don't think that Miyagi Kai or something like that would exist. I don't think that they'll team up that far. Now, they might team up to where Johnny helps train students, because a lot of people want to see that, but I don't know that we're going to see that. I guess I wouldn't rule it out, because they leave so many subtle hints of just exactly that being a possibility that it's like, you can't rule it out. So maybe. But on to the next one from Mr. Berea. Hello there. I'm a new student and I've become a big ass fan of Cobra Kai. I got a question that I've been dying to get theories on, and I'm hoping you can help me with. My question is about the healing technique. Do you think the healing technique can be used to save Miguel? And can you see Daniel telling Johnny about it, and they both travel to Okinawa to learn it? Okay, that's an interesting question. Now, I don't know that we'll see exactly that. Now, I could see, Johnny learning about it or whatever from Daniel if they were to get kind of on a closer type deal, and maybe they're like, well, we need to figure out how to get him walking again, and maybe that'd be a way and a reason that they would bring up the whole healing technique. Now, I don't know that they would fully believe it would help him walk again, that they would both try to go out of their way to learn that, but let's say that they're already planning to go to Okinawa anyways. Maybe that's something extra they pick up while they're there. I wouldn't rule that out. Now, I don't know that that's exactly how we could expect it to play out. I really don't. But then again, I guess you can't say that that's not something we could see happen, because it very well could be. But that's just my opinion. On to the next one. What would Tori do if she goes to the hospital and sees Sam and Miguel in the hospital room? Probably flip out again. I don't know, though. It's kind of one of those, I don't know where Tori's going to be at as far as headspace, if she would even want to go see Miguel at that point in time. I mean, maybe she would. It would make sense for her to do so, but it can make sense for her not to as well. So it's kind of like, it's up in the air on that one. So, I don't know, Aaron. That one's a hard one to really fully answer, but I could see a conflict becoming very prominent if she was to do that, especially if Sam's in there with Miguel. But on to the next one. What if Miguel tells Tori and Sam, because of you two fighting, this is what happened to me? Nah, I don't see Miguel being that type. Yeah, he might feel that way. I just don't see him being the type to actually throw it in their faces and be like, look, it's because of y'all I got injured. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't see him being like that. But then again, he might change after this whole ordeal, that he might end up being like that. I don't know, though. On to the next one, because I'm running out of time, and I don't know how many questions we got to go. How would Kreese get in contact with Terry Silver? I'm sure he's remained in contact with Terry Silver, whether it be by phone, by Facebook, or whatever, email. I'm sure that some way he's actually remained in contact with him in some way. But, that's just kind of my speculation on it. I would imagine so. But then there's also, it could just be good old letters, I don't know. You never know with them. On to the next one. Do you think that Kim Sun-young knows the crane kick and drum technique and karate and tiger techniques and snake technique? I don't know. I don't know too much about the Kim Sung-young character, to be honest. Maybe you all know a little more about it. Now, from the area that he's, living in South Korea or whatever, I could imagine that he has picked up quite a bit of different techniques, and imagine the whole he trained Kree still. I imagine it's its own different type of fighting style, basically to say, but I imagine that it's got some similarities. But what do you think? I imagine that he would know some similar, like, snake-type techniques or maybe even tiger techniques. The crane kick, I mean, it's kind of involved in a few different martial arts, so I wouldn't be surprised if he knows that. But, that's just what I think. What if Sam pays Miguel's hospital bills? I don't think she would. I just don't. I feel like they might start, like, a fundraiser if it's needed, but I, for some reason, feel like Daniel might actually be the one to pay for it. Just my opinion. On to an awesome comment from Roy. The new Karate Kid. Dre ends with the snake technique. Daniel ended with the crane technique. Chekhov's gun. There's a reason for that. Ever heard of a snake and crane kung fu? Ever heard of a Chosen Miyagi? What style of kung fu he studied in China and brought to Okinawa? The real person Miyagi is modeled after? You think that's a coincidence? You think it's a coincidence that Daniel learned crane style and Johnny learned snake style? That's a hell of a comment. Yes, I have heard of those types of martial arts, actually. But I don't know too much about them. Obviously, I haven't ever been taught that type of kung fu, the snake and crane kung fu, or even the exact type of kung fu that we see in with the Mr. Miyagi's like training and such. So it's like I don't have too much experience on that. Although I really would love to, if I could travel the world and learn all the different arts and styles of martial arts that exists out there. Obviously, there's not probably enough time in a lifetime to do that. It would be so badass, in my opinion. I've been actually trying to learn a lot more newer styles of stuff lately. I'm not that I'm bored of Taekwondo. I'll never be bored of Taekwondo, but at a point, it's like your brain just gets to where, well, for me anyways, it's like, I wonder what all new, like, styles and different art forms of martial arts there is to really actually learn that I don't know nothing about. So it's had me branching off and kind of just going into the rabbit hole of martial arts, I guess you could say, and just trying to learn as much as I can, because to me, it's a hell of a passion to have, and I love having martial arts as a passion, and something that's just kind of been a part of my life this whole time. So that's just my opinion. So if you're involved in any kind of martial arts as well, feel free to comment and let me know what you're interested in, or what you're training in, or what you have trained in, or maybe someone in your family's trained in. I love hearing everybody's experiences and what they've learned in life and what they've been trained, and it's a lot of fun. Now I'm gonna have to end this video here. We did not get to finish all the questions. There's still like plenty of questions, so what I'll do is I'll add all the questions I didn't get to on this video to tomorrow's video. I was going to make a part 2, but it's not quite as many questions to be a part 2, but at the same time, I won't be able to get to them all in a matter of 2 minutes. So, unfortunately, I'm going to end it here. I want to thank every one of y'all for commenting. I really appreciate it, and thank you everyone that came and joined me from Banzai Kai Dojo. Sensei and guest Sensei are amazing people, and I appreciate their help and support. And, they're growing a bigger community and getting us all involved. It gives us all more content to look forward to, and I guess just grow as a bigger community, Obviously, I want to appreciate, or say thank you, I should say, to all of you that are commenting, because you're making these videos a lot more interactive and a lot more fun. So please keep it up, even if it's just some crazy ass idea or theory that you don't think is so possible, but you still want to have it talked about and always and debated. Go ahead and comment. I don't care. I mean, these are our videos for us to do what we want to do with them. So feel free to comment whatever you want to comment. I mean, you can comment whatever you want to, because these videos are just for us to make, for us to have fun. Now, I'm having to redo this video at the end here. This is like I had to erase some of it because we had so many questions that it went way beyond the video mark. So what we're going to do is we're going to make this a 2-part. So we're going to finish this video here, and then we're going to pick up where we left off with the questions, because there's still a lot of questions that are left to be answered and talked about. So this is going to be part 1. Part 2 is going to premiere right after this one. So give it like a 5-minute pause between this one being over, and then we're going to start the second premiere. So I'm going to end this one here, and I'm going to get us all ready for the second premiere now. I'm going to finish the video and kind of redo the questions, because, yeah, it went way longer than I expected. So thank you all. I want to say thank you to Banzai Kai Dojo. Thank you to all of you watching. And don't forget to stay badass, and we'll see you very shortly.